Yo, what's up? Smart one. Got another great dish for you. Making pork stew using some pork riblets or rib tips, wherever you're from, same thing. The idea behind the dish was to mimic like a smoked rib recipe. For me, that looks like seasonings with paprika, salt and pepper, garlic, and allspice is generally like the rub I use. And then I like to spray my ribs with some apple cider as I cook. And so that's what I was thinking. I wanted to try to recreate that, but in a soup format. And so the apple cider is actually going to be the base for the broth. And then I bring in some other ingredients that go well with pork, like fennel, onions, carrots. I also have some turnips, and they're not just the whole turnips, the turnip root and the greens to add a little more heartiness to the dish. And then I spin it a little bit, add some Caribbean elements to the dish. I bring in some Haitian epis, which is like Trinidadian green seasoning, but it's a seasoning base, sort of like a sofrito if you're used to Puerto Rican cooking. And then the vegetable I'm using yuca, which is like a starch, but really popular in Caribbean cultures, as well as some Latin American, different parts of Mexico and South America. So I think you'll like the dish. I'll talk through some of the ways in which I'm going to kind of like make these ingredients and different flavors all meld together to give you a really balanced, delicious soup. And that's it. Let's get to cooking. I like to chop my riblets into individual pieces. Same with my bacon, nice smaller cuts. I like to leave them frozen, semi-frozen, to make it easier to cut. And then I season those riblets with my seasoning mix, which is salt, pepper, paprika, allspice, and a little bit of garlic. That's my base blend minus the garlic. I'm gonna start with my bacon. I'm gonna let that cook and render some of the fat. I'm not gonna cook it fully. I just want to render some of the fat, and then I'm gonna start adding in some of the vegetables. Depending on how much bacon you have, you might need to mix it up to make sure all the bacon gets cooked evenly. No problem there. The big thing is you want to leave enough fat in the pot for other stuff to cook and get that flavor in there. I'm going to move these to the side to make room for my fennel and onions. So the fennel's going in first, and then I'm going to add the onions. You don't have to cook these a long time. It's just cool to get a little bit of flavor release. And then it's going to stew in the pot later for a good long while, and so you'll cook those vegetables more fully as part of that process. All right, I'm going to start layering in some of the other ingredients. I got my yuca. Got some carrots. The yuca is a really hard starch, so it'll hold up to the cooking. And I also have my turnips. Use a nice mix. It's starting to smell really good. Obviously the smoked bacon is working its magic, but also the sweetness of the fennel is starting to creep out a little bit. Oh yeah. The aroma coming off the pot is great. It's awesome. This is going to be great. I got my bay leaf plus additional spices in there. Can't forget my cabbage and those nice turnip greens. The thing in these early stages is to stir a lot so you can make sure that like the leaves and the cabbage and all those ingredients get that fat and the seasoning all like coated on them. This is where things start to get interesting. I got my Haitian epis seasoning. You can see all of the flavor that's there with the different herbs, the peppers, This is just going to be stupendous. Yeah. I'm going to mix this in good. So we got hearty, we got health, we got flavor. We got it all just kind of mixed in here. And trust me when I tell you, it's only the beginning. We still got more flavor to add to this dish. Hold on. There's more. I told you there's more. Here come the ribs, the star of the show. Continue to mix. Here comes the chicken stock. For the last part of the cooking, I'm going to add my apple cider. It's going to bring some much needed acidity and some sweetness to balance things out. The acidity counteracts the fat in the pork, and then the sweetness with all the different savory combinations we have going on. So I let the heat do the rest. I cook the stew at a low simmer, aiming for about 2 hours, maybe a little more. You can start to check the tenderness of the pork at about an hour and a half. If it's falling off the bone, you're probably good to go. If not, you can cook it a little longer. But you want really tender cuts of pork that, you know, kind of break with your hands like you're seeing here. That's it. You can serve it as is, maybe add some rice, really your call. For a little bit of more texture, I like to chop up some apples or dice them up really small, add them on top. Of course, I'm a hot sauce guy. I always got to add the hot sauce. But yeah, that's it. You know, you see, I got mine going with the apples. Full meal, one pot, one bowl, dinner. Yeah, and I can't wait to dig into this one. I'm so excited. Smell it up my kitchen. So let me just dig into this one. This came out really well. I like the balance of all the flavors coming together. It's got enough sweetness from the apple cider to kind of mellow things out. I like the meaty flavor that the pork adds, as well as you get a little more depth with the bacon, the smoked bacon that I used at the beginning of the recipe. That's definitely coming through. I also like the texture. You got the harder, crunchier texture of the yuca, and with the carrots, and then you have the softer with the turnip greens as well as the cabbage. And then I added some diced apples on top to give it a little more crunch. Just have a little more fun factor. I think the dish is really good. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Likes, comments. Definitely don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.